Chapter 143. Either your formal attire. Its color is a bit different from ours. The first to break the silence was Devron. Either nodded as he adjusted the sleeves and the collar of his formal attire. The commander said he had made a different design for the deputy commanders and the assistant. Really? I saw Stiber in it earlier, but somehow it felt different. Either when you wear the outfit, you completely look like a highly esteemed person, just like the commander. While Devron murmured, as if looking at a stranger, Jimmy, unable to close his gaping mouth, gasped and cried out. Either looked down at his clothes he was wearing and opened his mouth quietly. It seems that you are saying that simply because the color of this attire is similar to Commander's uniform? No, it's true. It is so. You look like such a high-ranking noble. Very cool. You look handsome. Thank you, Jimmy. The surroundings burst into laughter at the sight of the boy shaking his hand high above his head and trying hard to express his feelings. At the same time, the previously frozen, quiet atmosphere slowly thawed. Either, have you ever worn formal attire like this before? No, I haven't. Why? You look quite comfortable, as if you have worn it a lot. Gakane, who had approached, picked up a piece of thread from Yudhir's back, which Yudhir had not noticed, and smiled. You looked good in the black uniform, but you also suit white. You look elegant. You too. The best response to a casual comment is to always turn it back to the speaker. It was one of the most useful rhetoric tips Kishir from his previous life had taught Yudhir. At Yudhir's response, Gakane scratched his head. It's natural for me to look comfortable since I have worn it a lot, although the splendid uniform is my first time. You have worn it a lot? Why? Unthinkingly questioning, Yudhir realized Gakane's background and stopped his hand that was examining his clothes. You must have had quite a few occasions to attend parties before. No, it's not just that. In Gakane's eyes, looking down at his formal attire, a bitter but somewhat refreshing color surfaced. The occasions when I had to wear formal attire were more often for different times than for attending parties. Like, for example, duels. Either I have checked all the way down to the hem of your trousers and everything's fine. At that moment, Jimmy, who had been checking the clothes with him, interrupted, so Yudhir couldn't hear the rest of Gakane's words. Thank you. Hey, Yudhir, I heard that there's an animated armor knight created by Archmage Luma's magic in the Hell of Deluma Palace, where the party is held. I'm really curious. Do you think I'll be able to see it? Is there something like that? That Archmage fellow must have had a lot of free time. There's already a lot named after that fellow throughout the capital. He seems to have made everything. Devron's response was exactly the same as Yudhir's thought when he saw the animated armor knight in Deluma Palace in his previous life, causing an unwitting faint smile to appear on his face. If you're lucky, you might be able to see it. The fact that all the festival events had gone without a hitch was felt through Jimmy's bright face. There was still a mountain of work to be done in the future, but that in itself was truly fortunate. Good day, Mr. Yulman, Mr. Pelgin. Oh, you have come despite being busy. After finishing his fitting for the formal attire, Yudhir went straight down to the basement to meet with the mages. In the meantime, they had managed to cast more wards and the atmosphere in the basement was not as heavy as before. How is it? Our 24-layered defense line. The pressure is completely gone now, isn't it? Thais Yulman, standing among the massive defensive magic circles shining in various colors, from the high ceiling to the walls and the door, smiled with a content face. His disciple, Alec Belgin, standing next to him, was extremely gaunt in contrast to his master, but he didn't hide his pleasure at seeing either. You have arrived. The magic stones and the ingredients that the Duke of Paleta, no, the commander sent were really helpful. I never dreamed that you would bring us a cart full of magic stones. From the look of a new furniture and living facilities around them that he hadn't seen before, it seemed Kishir had taken quite a bit of care. Due to receiving more magic stones than he expected, Alec prattled on about how he was able to enhance the defensive line from the original 15 layers to 24, all while serving Yether tea. It was the Pearl Towel's special research flower tea, which he had already drunk previously. Have some. I added something that's very good for waking up. How is the research progressing? When Yether asked while sipping his tea, Alec smiled and pointed at the red stone located not far away. It was still in a transparent box. The only thing that had changed from before was a small white circle drawn around it. Do you see the circle around there? Yes, that means the power of our defense line reaches up to there. The power of the red stone cannot radiate beyond that white circle. Even a weak mage like me can approach it that far. That's impressive, isn't it? There aren't many mages who can cast a defensive line of this level across the entire continent. At Yether's compliment, Alec looked proud. Following him, Thias Yulman also added his words. You shouldn't feed him into arrogance. Even though he's my disciple, he doesn't know modesty, and that's a problem. If I had done it alone, I could have done it faster, but he drew the circle wrong 3 times. Oh, Master, didn't you see me working through several nights to complete that? It's a thankless job. Can't I be happy with this much praise? Go and prepare more materials. You look like you're still half asleep. At his master's words, Alec's face fell as he quickly drank his tea and got up from his seat. Thias clicked his tongue a few more times towards his dejected disciple's back as if to make him hear, then turned his head towards Yether. We have also received all 3 medium materials we requested a few days ago, in addition to the magic stones. Although the quantity was very small because you have to find them quickly, I didn't expect you to send them so soon. Honestly, I was surprised. So, are you now making the medium? No. First, I tested how compatible these are with the power of the redstone. The fairy dust was useless, but the ancient dragon's heart and eucaractium seem to have a decent compatibility. I need to test a bit more, but I think the dragon's heart might be better. I see. Then I will request the commander to procure more of the dragon's heart. Indeed, one word leads to knowing two. Thank you. Thias Yulman stroked his long beard and grinned. My apprentice is busily crafting a mold now that we have enough ingredients prepared. As soon as the medium is completed, I plan to conduct an experiment with you and Kana to infuse it with the power of the stone. Can you help when the time comes? Of course. That's reassuring. After saying this, Thias seemed to remember something and said, Speaking of which, the festival period is ending soon, right? At the end, isn't there always a big party at the Deluma Palace? Yes. I should have been invited to attend, but I really don't want to go. Why would I leave such exciting research to attend a boring event? The thought of those Pearl Tower folks and other mages makes my head hurt. So, what I'm saying is, this time, can we just exclude me and make that apprentice of mine go with you? When Yudhir maintained a momentary silence in response to the blunt request of the old mage, Thais snickered, covering his mouth, and lowered his voice. I'll feign illness suddenly, and the rest can be handled by that lad. Almost no one knows we are here anyway, so there's no need to worry. Moreover, wouldn't you need someone to guard this place from your side? I would have to speak with the commander, but I believe they will agree with your request. I thought so. The image of Alec's future, dragged to a bothersome party in place of his master, brought out a twinge of sympathy in Yudhir. But having someone to guard the basement while everyone was away was also necessary. So, Thais' suggestion was welcome. It seemed like Kishir planned to station the Paladin Knights, led by the Nathan Zuckerman, at the residence to guard Revlin, his lover Dandelion, the Awakeners from the Apeto house, and the Redstone in the basement. But Yudhir felt that this alone was insufficient. It wasn't that he didn't trust Swordmaster Nathan Zuckerman, but considering the Star of Nagran, home to an illusionist and a teleporter, he believed one could never be too vigilant. Yudhir expressed his concerns to Thais Yulman briefly. There were a few incidents recently, so the possibility of intruders is high. I would appreciate if you could be more cautious about security on that day. Don't worry, I can't use attribute magic like the others, but I have other methods. As long as I'm here, this place will be safe, no matter who comes. You can rest easy. Thais Yulman chuckled and assured the safety of the basement. Yudhir also cracked a small smile. With this, the fate of Thais' apprentice, Alec Pelgin, was also determined. I look forward to your cooperation in the future. If you need anything else while conducting your research, please don't hesitate to let me know. Speaking of things I need, something just came to mind. Suddenly, Thais Yulman's eyes filled with curiosity as he leaned in closer.